Hello everyone, I hope that you're doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Shikha and I welcome you to my channel. As always, I'm really grateful and really happy that you're still listening to my channel, still watching me. I really appreciate all of you. In this one, I want to speak a little bit about strengths and weaknesses. And I'm sure if you've ever been to an interview, you've been asked this question: what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? And we try to answer in a way that kind of hides our weaknesses and enhances our strengths. So people will say things like, "Oh, I'm a perfectionist. I try to do everything perfectly," as a weakness. And then in fact, it could be a strength because they're detail oriented and they try to do everything nicely. So it's okay to lie, or fib on an interview about your strengths and weaknesses and to manipulate them that way. But in reality, in real life, I feel like there is this idea that we have, or that has been perpetuated, that we're supposed to focus on our weaknesses and make them better, and our strengths are already there anyway. So forget about your strengths. You're already good at whatever you are good at, so why bother with that? You should be focusing on your weaknesses and making yourself better in that way, so that you can become a more complete human being, a better human being in general, a better version of yourself. I've been finding that kind of advice actually doesn't really work for me, especially I feel as an INFJ, because we are so aware of our weaknesses as an INFJ. We're so aware of how many things that we lack. We're constantly criticizing ourselves. We're constantly looking at ourselves in a negative fashion. So it's very easy for us to get into the trap of, I'm bad at this, I'm bad at that, I'm bad at this, I'm bad at that, and then start working on all of the things we're bad at or not good at. And then forget that there's so many things that we're good at. We forget completely about our strengths. We forget that we have a brilliant intuition that we should be using constantly and enhancing. We forget that we're really great with people and we should be enhancing that instead of running away from them. We forget that we're kind human beings that want to help the world and make it a better place, and instead of that, we just hide from the world, right? So I have been noticing as I get older is that I'm kind of really sick and tired of people telling me how many ways I am not good enough, because it happens all the time. The magazines, the TV shows, the people out there, the relatives that come to your house, the friends, the family, random strangers will come up to you and tell you, "Hey, you're looking a little bit," and you're like, I didn't even ask you for your advice. I didn't ask you for what your opinion is of me and what I'm doing right now. I'm not asking you for feedback. I'm not asking you for advice. I'm not asking you for anything. Why are you coming up all in my business and telling me what you think about me? What kind of nonsense is this? Unsolicited advice, feedback is not needed. I do not want it. I don't want people telling me how I can become better. I know. I watch myself. I know really well how I can become much better than who I am right now. I'm lazy. I don't do it in a lot of ways, but I know, right? But people will never go up to someone and be like, "Hey, like, you're just looking so radiant today," or like, "You're just looking so happy today. I'm so happy to see that." No one gives you the good stuff. People only give you the bad stuff. So I do not want that anymore. I'm sick and tired of it. I do not want negative feedback anymore, unless I'm soliciting it, unless I'm in a class where I'm asking the teacher, "Please give me negative feedback." When you're in a situation that warrants it, yes, go for it, right? When I'm asking you for it, yes, go for it. But if I'm just having a normal conversation with you, or not even having a conversation with you, and you bring in my weaknesses that you are presuming are my weaknesses, get away from me. Do not tell me what my weaknesses are. I know them and I'm working on them as much as I wish to. What I really should be doing, and especially as an INFJ, what we really should be, I feel, we should be focusing on, are enhancing our strengths. We have quite a few of them. But because as an INFJ, we're so critical of ourselves, so harsh on ourselves, so down on ourselves, that we will look at everyone else and look at their beauties, but we will not be able to see our beauty ourselves at all. Only thing that we see when we look at ourselves is negative, dirty, evil, like ugliness. We only see our ugliness. And yes, I mean, we're not saying we're not perfect. We are far from perfect, and everyone else is as well. But when we look at someone else, especially a friend or someone we love, we only see their beauty. We only see their perfections. We forget that they have imperfections sometimes even. We put them on a pedestal. when we look at ourselves, we cannot even find the pedestal to put on. Like, we don't even find our weakness, our strengths. You know, we're like, well, yeah, I'm bad at that. Yes, oh yeah, I'm really bad at that. Oh my god, yeah, oh, I'm terrible at that. And then if someone's like, but what are you good at? People are like, well, I don't know. Maybe I'm slightly good at this. The problem is that kind of creates a situation where you're constantly improving yourself, working on improving yourself, but never getting anywhere, right? Because, like, can you imagine this journey of improving yourself? You're never gonna get to the end line, to the finish line. There is no finish line. There's always something to improve. So does this mean that you're going to be unhappily imperfect for the rest of your life? Does it not mean that, okay, I am imperfect, yes. I have lots of things to improve, yes. But in this moment in time, I'm as perfect as I can be. I'm doing the best I can, and I'm gonna be happy with that. Why can't we live like that? Yes, I will constantly try to improve myself. That is a given. I'm an INFJ. We are meant for that. But in this moment in time, right now, as I'm sitting here with my imperfections, I can still love myself. I can still like myself. I can still be with myself without putting myself down constantly. Why can't we just love ourselves as we are right now in this moment and still improve ourselves, right? Why does it have to be one or the other? Why do I have to be completely imperfect or completely perfect? This is our dichotomous thinking. We're always black and white. We're always one side or the other. That is not how the world works, and that is not how we work either. INFJs have lots of good qualities. We have lots of bad qualities. Yes, do not focus entirely on the bad. You can focus on them if you're trying to improve them, for sure. Like, for example, my procrastination was something that was a huge problem for me. And then I created systems around it and I improved it, and now procrastination is not such a huge problem for me, right? Doesn't mean I don't still procrastinate, but it's not as bad, right? But that doesn't mean that I made it my own personality. I have lots of great things that I do really well. Like, I'm a great writer, I'm very creative, I have a really good intuition about people, about things. I am great with money, blah, blah, blah. You know, I have good qualities. Why can't I talk about those and focus on those at certain points in time? Like, if you meet an INFJ for the first time, they're not going to be that person who says, oh yeah, you know, I'm really good at this. Yeah, you should really learn from me. Never will you hear those words dripping from an INFJ's mouth. Not in 100 years, not 1,000 million years, right? But you will definitely hear an INFJ say, hey, yeah, you know what? I just met you, but like, this is me and I'm really, really terrible at this. I would love to learn from you. I think it's a good thing in a way that we are aware of our imperfections as an INFJ. I mean, obviously it's a great thing. But it's also a bad thing in a way that we just do not see our goodness, right? And I'm not saying we're perfect. Again, I have to really be like, I am not saying, oh my god, INFJ is the best human beings on the planet. No. I know a lot of forums online and a lot of videos kind of perpetuate this freaking myth, but it is not true. And I understand, and you understand that as well, that we're not perfect, we're not godlike, but we're not the dirt of the soul of people either. Like, you know, we're not the bottom of the bottom either. So I really wish, I want, and that the reason I do these videos as well is to show the beauty of INFJs as well. Like, we are beautiful beings on the inside, and as are so many other people on the planet, right? And so why do we always have to focus on the dirt? Why do we always have to focus on the bad? Why do we always have to focus on the imperfections? Why can't we just sometimes realize that we are good, kind, intuitive, brilliant, creative people in one way, and, you know, kind of talk about that a little bit as well to ourselves. I'm not saying go around and tell everyone about it. I'm talking about for ourselves, to ourselves. Why can't I focus on my beauty sometimes rather than my ugliness? And I'm constantly focused on my ugliness, my internal ugliness. Sometimes things that make me jealous, the things that make me unkind, the things that make me impatient, the things that make me angry with the world and with the people around me. These are a lot of the things that I focus on inside of myself. And I'm always like, oh my god, I should really be better. I'm so impatient. I really should be better. Yes, you should be better, but there are moments where you can be the most patient person on the planet. There are moments where you're the kindest person on the planet. There are moments where you're the most creative person on the planet. You know, things like that. Well, not the most, but you are very creative, you know. So I wanted to do this video as a little bit of a PSA, a public service announcement, particularly for INFJs, to start kind of moving away from the spectrum of extremes, right? To stop moving away from, oh, I am a terrible human being, I'm so imperfect, don't look at me, to I am as imperfect as everyone else out there, but I have a lot of good things to offer to the world, and here some of them are here, and I should be proud of that fact. It is not just I'm a terrible person, but I'm an imperfect being with lots of good things to offer. So on that note, I would really love to hear from you in the comments what you think your qualities are, your good qualities, the things that you do great, your strengths. I would love to. I don't want to hear about your weaknesses. You can tell me if you want, but I would love to hear about what you think your strengths are, because I would really like to celebrate those rather than just talking about your weaknesses, which is what INFJs do. Again, I'm really grateful to all of you for being on my channel. I really appreciate all of you, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye for now.